Speaking of false allegations, on a recent episode of Dr. Phil, Omarion responded to a woman who believed she was engaged to him and had been sending him money. The woman named Simone said she began talking to this person in 2020 and claimed that Omarion's manager told her she must pay $3,000 to meet the singer. Of course, it turned out Simone was being catfished by the fake manager. Omarion joined the Dr. Phil episode virtually and said, "I'm so sorry, Simone. I haven't been speaking with you online, and we are not in a relationship. You haven't sent me any money." He also wrote in an Instagram story, "Be smart, family. So many people have stories saying they spoke with me online. I don't take advantage of people. I respect and appreciate people who support me." Now, have y'all ever been catfished? And do you feel sorry for this woman, or is the delusion too real? Al, what do you think about this?
Listen, if you got an IG account, if you have IG and you scroll through IG, you've been catfished, because none of those people look like they do in person. As it relates to this case, this is sad and it's unfortunate. But let me tell you what's even more sad and unfortunate in this case is Dr. Phil creating an entire show around it. I see why now this is Dr. Phil's last season and he's getting canceled. This is ridiculous to bring on and exploit this black young woman and this black celebrity in this way to talk about impersonating somebody and catfishing. I didn't like it. And I'm sorry, I didn't like it. Now, as far as the catfishing part, we all know that impersonating someone online is not a crime. But in this case, as the number of cases start to triple, I really do think that legally something should happen for those that are catfishing for the sake of creating fraud and stealing money.
Okay. Q, what do you think about this?
Y'all always set me up to be the bad guy. Okay. I'm so sick and tired of it.
And you do it so well. So please.
Listen, okay? Listen to me, daughter. Let me sit up. In this life, we all have a league, all right? And when it comes to physicality, the more you deviate from the generally accepted standard of beauty that's on the cover of magazines, be it Essence or Vogue, the less likely it is that a celebrity like Omarion will be interested in you. Furthermore, if you look like you are over the food ministry at Mount Pleasant Missionary Baptist Church and that you make a nasty peach cobbler on Thanksgiving and you ain't never dated Michael, John, Chris, Randy, anybody with no muscles or anybody outside your town or anybody that damn fine or anybody that damn popular, why on today of all days that you thought your cooking, your loving, your looks, your essence, and your aura secured Omarion over the phone? So no, I highly disagree with Al. Dr. Phil didn't exploit you. The show didn't exploit you. Your delusions of grandeur exploited you. You had to know better, miss. Do better, people. In short, why would Omarion? Why? And if y'all want to spend some time in the comments and unpack it, we can. But of all the women and how you rank in comparison to all the women he got access to, he wanted you. Child, it must have been a Christmas miracle on 54th Street.
You know, sometimes there are women that we don't deem attractive and they be having fine ass men. It'd be like, yo, but there's more to the person than what we think they look like, okay? Because I done had a couple fine dudes and I couldn't believe what their exes looked like. I was like, well, damn. But then I had to get out of that superficial mode and say, she made him feel good. She showed him love. She was something else. There's more, there's more to it than the looks. My issue with her is, how the hell do you think you're engaged with someone you ain't never seen in person? How do people really think they're that really much in a relationship that you've never seen? You've never FaceTime. You only talk to a voice. You don't know who that is, and you've sent money to. Like, I don't get that delusion. Yeah, we can talk about her looks, and yeah, okay. But let's not act like there ain't guys on here that's, women can get a man. That's the easiest thing to get. Okay. But why do you think this person was your man when you never even seen him in real life?
Claudia, I'm going to be honest with you. I think they do know. I think that life has just dealt them such a shitty hand that for whatever little gratification and pleasure they get for holding on to that fantasy, they just do. Because there's no way in hell a grown person who was smart enough to pass the driver's exam or graduate high school does not have the deductive reasoning skills to deduce that is not her man.
Now, let's talk about deductive reasoning skills. Deductive reasoning means you have to call Dr. Phil's show and you have to share your story. After you share your story, you have to go through an interview and give all the facts as it relates to you, why you thought you were engaged to Omarion. Dr. Phil, shame on you for this. Shame on you, Dr. Phil, for this.
There's a girl in Houston right now that claims she's married to 50 Cent. Look her up. It's called Mrs. 50 Cent. And she sends me videos all the time like, he's my husband. You guys will see one day. Almost to the point where I almost believe her. I'm like, well, he has a woman. I engaged a few times because I do be having time. There's a lot of people out here that really are out here thinking that they are in relationships with celebrities, y'all. It's scary. It's actually sad. But what if we're wrong? No? Okay.